This video we're going to be reacting to is by Sonia Danielle. May this kind of love never find you. I was interested in this shit because I don't know, it just intrigued me. We're gonna be talking about dating, and so let me just go ahead and see what this video is about. So hopefully, it don't give us the problems that the other video was giving us.
And that's why you have to have radical faith. Not lukewarm faith, not normal faith, radical faith. And I got so deep into the word of God, and this would help me keep going. So when he told me he did not want to be with me, he hated me, he wished he never married me, he wished I was never born, I knew that that was a joke. God specifically told me that he didn't mean that. What? When I said that?
You know what's funny? This is a parody, but it's actually not.
This is what I need you, beautiful black Nubian queens, to stop doing. Stop putting so much fucking makeup on your fucking face, man. The natural face is the most beautiful type of face, whatever. You may not like how you look, but men love the natural look. I hate a whole lot of makeup. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Y'all don't need to be caked up like this, man. Y'all don't need all this shit. This don't even look natural. It just looks like straight makeup, man. Straight makeup. Like, look, your fingers don't even match how your face look. Look, see how my fingers look. My fingers, the skin matches how my face look. Yours don't.
Not that much of an exaggeration of the clip I'm about to show you.
I just completely changed as a person, and I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. So he would call me out my name, it wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you, right. I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one day. We will have a good marriage one day. And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting him ready for the night. And these are all things I was graced to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this.
You heard what she said. She was graced by God to do it. So who are y'all to go ahead and judge how she want to go through what she's going through? All right. So I already know this video, or maybe I don't want to assume, but I'm assuming that this video is just sit here to bash her or tell her that, hey, maybe you should stop da 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 da. If she feels that it was God telling her to go ahead, and because a lot of women are like that. A lot of women will go through that. That's how they used to go through it back in the day. And some women still have that thought process and still have that belief, and they're just have those religious and Christian values. So you can't really blame them on that. So
yeah. Hey guys. How y'all doing? I sat through all 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 28 seconds of that podcast because I saw that clip on TikTok like the rest of us, and I was like, you know what?
Not no rest of us. I didn't.
There's context that we're missing. Like, you know, people be clipping and putting it on TikTok, and now we're missing context, and we be getting all mad and stuff. Let me go and hear these people out. And let me tell y'all, I am so pissed that I will never, ever get that 1 hour.
Come on, man. Get yourself together. Blood. Like, bitch, you not hot. This is the same shit that would happen at fucking Cleveland. But instead, it's just a video.
32 minutes and 28 seconds back. I can't believe that I let y'all steal this time away from me. It's my fault. It's my fault. I wanted to get...
Alright, bro. Maybe I am going to do it on fucking... Do it on 48p. Because obviously, This shit is too hot for
All
you.
of the details. It's my fault. I let y'all steal this time away from me and I'm never gonna get it back. Before I give y'all the context, because I ain't even gonna play with y'all time like that. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia, and I'm just so happy that you decided to spend this time with me. Please feel welcome to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me tell you, I do be active in the comments. But anyways, let's get into the background behind Mr. and Mrs. Steele. Starting with Mrs. Steele, aka Kelly Steele. She expressed that her parents actually separated because of infidelity. Her father did cheat on her mother, and she always had this idea of, dang, like, if my mom would have stayed, we could have stayed, like, all of us could have stayed together. We could have stayed a family. Moving on to Mr. Steele, aka Reggie Steele. His dad was a pastor and also dealt with infidelity issues. His father had 10 kids with 6 women. However, Reggie's mom was like his main, I guess. Reggie's mom was the one that he stayed with. He was always there. Like, they were like the 2-parent household. And Reggie was also taught by his father that this is just how men are. You know, men just want to spread their seeds far and wide. However, for you, please just have kids with one woman. That's what he told Reggie. Please have kids with one woman. I mean, I guess he kept his promise.
One of the things I can say is that it's just, sorry. On one hand, that is true. Men were put on this earth to spread their seeds long and wide throughout the world and shit like that. As long as they can take care of the kids and they can give proper discipline and do what they need to do to make sure their kids grow up to be successful and everything. But he's being a hypocrite by saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, but I'd much rather you have kids with one woman while I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, maybe there's a specific reason why he said that. Because of maybe there's some stuff going on in his life with his other females outside of his marriage to where it made it more hard for him and where he's giving them guidance. So that could be it. But also could be another thing to where it's like, don't do it because I did it and da da da. No. I think it should be more on the lines of, look, if you're gonna do it, like, talk to me about it because this is what I'm going through. This shit I'm going through this hill. So you're a man, you're gonna choose what you want to do, but be aware of the issues or the different things that are gonna come with you in your actions.
Moving on to high school, this is actually where Reggie and Kelly met. Initially, Kelly met Reggie's mom while getting her hair done, and Reggie's mom gave Kelly his number, but she didn't call him. Sometime later, Kelly ended up receiving Reggie's number again, but this time it was from a young lady that Kelly said wasn't that attractive.
This girl named I almost said her name, but she said, you know, me and Reggie broke up. And I said, Reggie who? And she said, Reggie Steele. And this girl was not cute. And I said to myself, if she got him, I know I can get him. And
she gave you the number.
She gave me the number.
What made her give you the number? You asked for it?
Well, we didn't get along. So we were kind of rivals. So, and he dogged her. So she's like, yeah, you go ahead. In other words, you need to get dogged out too.
Put a pin in that. They started conversing. He would go over to her house. They only lived like a half a mile away from each other. And so there was a convenience factor, which they did mention. He did say that she was convenient. Okay. And they started dating in high school. This is when Reggie told her, his future wife, that she was his starter, but he has others on the bench.
He told me, you know, you're my starter, but I got other ones on the bench, you know, and
at least he was honest. You women say you love a man that's honest. At least he's honest. I mean, I'm not mad at it, and obviously she wasn't mad at it because she stayed with him. They got married, so.
You know, what else would you tell me, baby?
That you my point guard.
Yes,
You
and that
lead the
you love
team.
me.
But I like them.
Right. So I was in a relationship I was okay with that as long as I was first. And there's a reason for
A
that.
lot of
I
women
want
will go ahead and
the
take that.
women to know out there. I didn't know Jesus. I didn't, know who I was.
He also told her that he noticed that he, oh my gosh, I can't even get this out clearly. I am.
And one of the things I already know that I get from this video is that she's going to be thinking about it more through her emotions. I would never be with a man who would tell me that I'm her starter, I'm his starter, and he's still got other people on the bench. That's so controlling, that's manipulative, da 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 da. It's the truth. Women have the choice on whether she, after that she wanted to leave or she wanted to stay. She chose to stay. They're married. I already know it's going to be full of just emotion. I already know.
Amazed at the audacity. He also told her that he noticed that she didn't know her self-worth. And she agreed at 17 years old that she did not know her self-worth. She didn't see any of the value that she had, and she didn't know herself. Which, I mean, as a teenager, yeah, you're going through that discovery phase, but would it not be scary if your high school boyfriend came up to you and was just like, yeah, I see you ain't got no self-worth. If you see me looking over here.
See, you don't even know if that's what he did or not. You're just trying to be emotional with it, and emotional, I'm not even going to make it word. I'm about to say emotionalizing. But you're creating this false scenario that's preying on people's emotions. You don't know that's how it went. You weren't there. But you're putting a negative emotion, a negative connotation on that interaction that possibly didn't happen like that.
Just know I'm looking at my plethora of notes. Okay. Moving on to marriage. So Kelly and Reggie got married very young. However, before they got married, Kelly realized that she was pregnant. Now, they were broken up at this point, and she was out of state. She was on her way to school, like.
When I found out I was pregnant, we were actually broken up during the summer.
Okay.
We're going to college. I had a full ride scholarship to college for classical piano. He had one for
Classical
baseball.
piano?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
I was a classical pianist.
Her parents are like, oh no, we're done with you. And so she has to move in with Reggie and his family, and she has to start going to his church. So she's pregnant. They end up getting married when she's 19. He's 21 at this point. But he still tells her, hey, just so you know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be faithful. Yeah, he said that. After
At least he's
the
honest.
vows are exchanged, rings are exchanged, you may kiss the bride, all that good stuff. He tells her, hey, I didn't get to have fun. And then for the next 5 years, cheats on her, disrespects her, drags her through the mud, and becomes a felon. He also becomes a felon.
And I was working for the police department as a dispatcher. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I worked nights. He worked days because we couldn't afford daycare. I was dispatching. I got a call for armed robbery in process. I got the K-9, the air unit, set up a perimeter. We were chasing him. We pulled the car over, arrested them, and it was him.
Why did she marry him? She said that she married him because she thought the title of husband would change him. And she thought that if he owned her and she was going to be Mrs. Steele, that he would treat her better. And why did he marry her? So his mom actually instructed him to marry Kelly and not the woman that he was going to marry, because in his mom's eyes, the woman that he was going to marry was not maternal enough, and she was going to cheat on him, which is so interesting, because he also mentioned that his mom, like when he would have other girls at his house, his mom would call Kelly and be like, oh, he's over here with other girls. I keep on telling him to stop, but he's just over here with other girls. Don't worry, you're his wife though. This was obviously before they got married, but like literally calling Kelly, Yeah, he over here cheating on you, girl. Anyways, during this 5-year stretch that he would go on to cheat on Kelly, go back to smoking, go back to drinking, all of that stuff, Kelly would find herself.
You didn't even need to say go back to smoking, get back to drinking and shit like that. You're adding that in as in like that's another factor on why he was cheating, or maybe not, or maybe just like, all right, look, he's a negative influence on Kelly's life. Look at him, he's cheating, he's drinking, he's smoking. Nigga, regular niggas drink, regular niggas smoke. Like, you're just doing this shit to bash him for his actions that he did. Nobody's perfect. I don't get, like, I can understand if you're saying this as an educational thing, but it's more along the lines of you don't like this individual for what you know or what they put out, but you don't know the whole story, and is emotionalized another? Is that a real word? I keep wanting to say emotionalized, but I don't think it's a real. Man, let's see if emotionalized is a real word. Let's see. Oh, it is a okay. I'm a smart ass nigga because I said it in the right way, and I didn't even know it was a real word, and I thought I created a word. So real ass nigga right there. Yeah, but you're emotionalizing the things that you see, and you emotionalized it as you were listening to it. So it's
Fighting
not,
other women.
You're not going about it in an
jumping
unbiased.
on the hood of his car.
You're not going
trying to
about it in an unbiased way. Which how could you? You're a female, so it's obviously gonna hit you in the core of when you heard cheating and oh my god, she was there supporting him and she had his kids and he was out cheating, he was out drinking, he's a horrible man, he's a felon, da 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 da. You're looking for different shit to add on to why you didn't like him.
and trying to get him not to leave, hiding his keys and helping him look for them. Everything you can imagine. Everything you can imagine.
Hey, bro, you see my AirPods?
And
Nah,
eventually
bro.
She went to the mothers of
You
her
press
church
the
for
goddamn
advice,
button. You
and
press the
basically
goddamn button that beeps when you so you know it's in the nigga's pocket. Ding, 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 ding. What's that? I don't know. Ding, 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 ding. You try to take my
just told her
AirPods,
to
nigga?
pray for him.
I don't know how to get out of my pocket.
Get some oil, put that cross on his head, and hope for the best. Eventually, she went on to try to be the best wife that she could be, and that included ironing his clothes for him to go and spend the weekend off with his side chicks. And despite his infidelity, Reggie expressed that he felt like he needed to stay in the household despite how he was showing up as a husband because they had kids together. 5 kids to be exact. He also stated that he is a phenomenal father despite being a bad husband. Now that we're done with that background, y'all ready for some commentary? Let's get into some commentary. So I was going back and forth between, do I make this video? Do I not make this video? However, when she said this, I knew I had to get an outline ready, child.
What would you say to the women that may be looking at this and say, see, that's that nonsense they talking about?
Well, I would say that's why you're single still. Because I'm sure somebody had been in your life already.
You don't pick the fight.
And you didn't want to give the investment for that person to become somebody, and then you lost them probably a long time ago. And you should have just worked with them from the beginning and just worked out the kinks and worked it out.
Yeah, when she said this,
I mean, I don't hear anything that's wrong. She's got a point. And she's not talking about the same shit that she's going through. She's talking about just the micro thing that you looked at the individual that gave you the ick and you made it a whole big thing where you're ignoring all the positive signs that he gave you. He took care of you. You didn't have to pay for anything. He protected you. He made you feel protected and he was emotionally there or whatever. It was that little thing that you didn't like. You be one to look for perfection in a man, which you're never gonna find. There's always gonna be something that a man is flawed on. She's saying Don't look for perfection. If he already has his self together and he's the right man for you, but he has certain things that he's flawed on, stay with him and work through those things to where you can build that bond. That's all she's saying.
I said,
She's not saying go through the stuff that
I
she's
know
going
who
through.
you are. I know you're kind. One of my pet peeves is when people use singleness, especially towards women, as some sort of insult or like a gotcha. Like, ooh.
I mean, y'all do that. Y'all be using being a housewife as, or a trad wife or traditional wife as an insult. So what's the difference? Y'all be doing that back and forth.
I got a man, you don't. My thing is, being
Like, bro,
in a
bro,
relationship.
hold on. Because here's the thing about males. We don't use each other being in relationships as a gotcha moment or like flaming them. Oh, that's why you're in a healthy relationship with your girl. We say that's why you don't get no bitches. That's why you don't get no bitches. But that's just like fucking. That's it. Y'all are the ones to be asking, oh, you can't keep a man, da 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 da, or you do anything your man wants you to do, da 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 da, or that's why you single, or like y'all be combating each other back and forth based off of what they do have in a relationship, what they don't have in a relationship. You females be doing that.
Relationship is not a flex. A man is one of the easiest things to get. Now, being in a
Easiest thing to get, but the thing is about keeping them. She's talking about keeping a man. That's what she's talking about, and you're talking about getting a man. You know why he's so easy to get? Because he wants to get in them draws. He wants to get in them draws. But guess what? After he gets what he wants, how do you keep him? How do you keep him from, you know what? She's just a regular fuck section, a regular fuck session, and we chill. We go on some dates, maybe. I'll just call over to the crib at 3 a.m. if I feel like it. Or on to the next one. How do you keep him from classifying you as that? To him upgrading you to, you know, I want this to be my girl. That's what you're not getting. So yeah, it is easy to get a man. For you. And for most females with a fucking vagina. But how you gonna keep that man? How you gonna add value into his life? How you gonna make his life easier? I'm not even talking about cooking and shit like that. I'm talking about just spiritually, emotionally, being that comfort, being his muse. Like, come on now.
healthy, okay,
I say that a
say
lot.
it with
Like,
me
come
now.
on now. Maybe I should chill.
Healthy relationship. Now that's a flex. Being in a partnership and where you both are adding to each other, there's peace in it, there's safety. You both feel like you are home. Like,
But how do you do that when both people within a relationship have toxic ways? When you're just willing to, when one person is willing to, all right, I'm up and leave when I don't like what this individual does. Talking about, oh, I can get a man. The thing is about being in a healthy relationship. You cannot be in a healthy relationship off the fucking rip because you both have baggage that you're bringing into the relationship. Like, there's no such thing as y'all being there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Y'all gonna have issues. Y'all gonna have problems. So y'all could be in a healthy relationship, but guess what about health? It deteriorates unless you work on it. So,
that's a flex.
So last night I sat up and watched the entire Dear Wifey podcast with Reggie Steele and his wife Kelly Steele, and let me just say that I was very overstimulated and very uncomfortable. And I was uncomfortable with all the kiki laughing ha ha at trauma, because that's what it was. I didn't find nothing funny about emotional abuse, verbal abuse, cheating, disrespecting his wife, calling her out her name. Well, he wasn't calling her out her name then, but you know, he was just saying like, you know, I was telling her that she wasn't worthy, she didn't have no value, and she just sitting there like, yep, that's what you said. No, absolutely not. And I didn't like the fact that
What if she wasn't worthy? What if she didn't have any value? Men are told that fucking as soon as you get out of high school, you have no value. In which we know we have no value. So you get out of college, we still don't have no value. We don't add anything to the world. So y'all emotionalizing this when it's kind of true. She has no value to the world, and she agreed. He rationalized it. I'm sure he did. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I wasn't there. But y'all emotionalizing it. Y'all just making it worse for yourself. Not really worse for yourself, but y'all not hearing the message that he's saying.
I felt like she was not holding him accountable enough for me. Like the whole time, it's just like, well, you know, it wasn't him, it was me, and I had my own things. And it's like, yeah, we understand that everybody has their own demons and, you know, things they have to deal with, but that don't mean you have to be disrespected in your own home, around your kids, around your daughters. You know what I mean? That don't mean none of that. That to me, that's not love. And I just didn't like the fact that he was like, well, you know, my dad did this, so sir, that does not mean that you have to carry the torch to be a cheater. But the last thing I'll say is that she was like, the podcaster, which he made me uncomfortable too. But anyways, the podcaster was like, well, you know, how do you feel about women who may say that they don't agree with what y'all are doing? And she was like, well, that's why they're single. Sister, no, no. From a married woman, absolutely not. I will not be disrespected in front of my kids. I won't be called out of my name and thinking that that is okay because y'all are married and y'all are in the church. No, I don't think that's what God intended. Like that's, to me, that's not love.
And I noticed, like, in the
Hey man, everybody got their own definition of love. That's how it is. It is what it is. It's not. I mean, everybody is entitled into their opinion, and everybody has the right to their opinion, but they don't have the right to push their opinion on other people. That's just how it is. And just because your relationship isn't like theirs doesn't mean that yours is more perfect or more just better than theirs. I mean, and that's what they used to do. It's not what they're doing now. So they grew. They got through those kinks and shit like that.
pod, the husband, Reggie Steele, he mentioned that a very low percentage of Black people are married. My thing is, I feel like, and this is just personal observation, obviously I don't know everyone who is over the age of 50, but I feel like the older generation is a lot more numbers focused, like, oh, why is no one getting married? While the younger generation, from what I've seen from the people that I'm around personally, are more focused on the quality of the relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic. Who cares about perception when you go home, you can't even talk to your spouse, they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to be bothered with you? Who cares about looking cute and happy on Instagram when you're coming home to that? You are the one experiencing this lackluster relationship, but oh, it looks good, I have a ring. At what cost?
Now, my thing is, I don't know if she were to be talking about that relationship with Mr. and Mrs. Steele, but if that's the case, then why are you addressing what you saw in that podcast if it's not about perception? They literally just told you about their marriage, their ups and downs, and how they worked through it and everything, and how they're good now. And you telling me that the newer people, the younger generation is focused on the quality and the quantity of the relationship? If that were the case, then they would be following Mr. and Mrs. Steele's footsteps. Not in that, and how they do it exactly. Obviously, you want to have some you know what you can and you won't stand for, but you won't be so easy to give up on, you know, getting to know that person for who they are and building that bond and that emotional relationship and just that intellectual relationship and that spiritual relationship. So with what you said, you pretty much just agreed with what she said. Not even gonna lie.
Anyways, I got off topic, but to add to the declining marriage rates, women have more choices. We're out there getting our degrees, we're out there getting certifications, we're out there having businesses of our own. Women are really doing it. Like, they're creating.
And yet, a lot of women who become successful and shit like that, they're depressed because they don't have a happy family, they don't have no kids, they don't have a lot of women said that they much rather have a family and a husband than to have a fucking career and shit like that. So
Beautiful lives for themselves. And so if you want to be in this woman's life, it's not like you can just have money and be like, ooh, well, I have money. Well, she has money. You actually have to be a good person. You have to be a man with good character to be in this woman's life.
I mean, so do the females. It's vice versa. Y'all both gotta be good people. Y'all both gotta have good character. It's not just about one of them. Y'all both gotta do that. Don't just say the man has to be I get this is a female's channel, but you want to play for both ends. It can't just be the males. Like, you females also, y'all be having fucked up perceptions of reality just because y'all had shit handed to y'all and shit like that, and y'all get pretty privileged and shit. Y'all both gotta have good character. You're like, nobody's perfect, but y'all both at least gotta be nice and genuine and willing to put in the work and the effort.
Because if not, you're just messing up the feng shui. Nowadays, people expect their spouse to be a good person, a person with good character.
My pastors are getting dragged on the internet right now.
My pastors are Reginald and Kelly Steele, the pastors of Kingdom of the Valley in Phoenix, Arizona, the church that God told me to go to when I first moved here. And I can tell you, from what you've seen on that podcast they did, that's exactly what they do at church. My very first impression of this ministry, he was preaching that Sunday, and he came out in the audience, and he comes down and he preaches on the floor. And he had made a couple comments and a couple jokes about his marriage and about his wife. Now, I didn't even know who his wife was. But then the lovely cameraman put the camera on her and put her on the big screen. And I was like, and she's just laughing and smiling. And I was so uncomfortable for her. And what was more absurd was the fact that I am looking around and the people were laughing with him. Because they talk about their marriage all the time. I was new. This is new to me. I don't find it funny. It was nothing funny about what he said. I had second, third, and fourth hand embarrassment for her, because there's no way that I would let you be on a mic, streaming on the internet in front of all these people, and basically call me dumb or stupid for staying with you, or you was talking about how you was the man and you was stepping out on her. Like, they would say this, like, he would say comments like this all the time. He's crazy. So random with the disrespect. Now, these are not bad people, and I love their kids. They're all grown.
See, this is why I don't go to church and I don't trust churches and shit like that. Not only because they got in bed with the state, which they're not supposed to do that, but also, how is a man who's a pastor who's supposed to be passing, he's supposed to be the vessel from God to speak to man about the relationships like that? How are you going to be telling me about how to get my relationship better with God and, other stuff, and coming down on me, yet you're committing one of the deadly sins in the Bible. One of the 10 Commandments. Cheating. Or whatever you're doing. You're a felon. I'm not just specifically talking about him. I'm just talking about just pastors in general. That's why I don't go to church, bro. I don't do church.
They're active in the ministry, but we're talking about this podcast and the things that he said. And I am telling you, as a person that goes to their church, these comments and stuff be said a lot. And as my first impression at that church on that day, I literally text my best friend and I was like, he's disrespecting his wife and his marriage in front of all these people and people think it's funny. And I just went, I didn't go today, but I went last week. And they preached together last week. And even in the midst of them preaching together, it was a couple comments in there. A couple of them. I catch them all the time because I be looking for them because they talk about their marriage and each other so much, especially him. And it's very uncomfortable for me.
So why do you keep going?
So watching that podcast was extremely uncomfortable for me. And then the fact that God told me to sit under their covering at that ministry. You can't tell me y'all prayed about going on that podcast, at least about what you were going to share.
So if it makes you uncomfortable, if it made you uncomfortable after the first time, why do you keep attending? Why would you watch the podcast you're in? Go to a different church. Simple.
Because that couldn't have been wisdom to disclose the stuff that y'all disclosed on that podcast. I can't say that that was wisdom to do. To each their own. This is your story. This is your testimony. But there's just some stuff you don't need to say. Maybe use some discernment and when sharing certain things, because
I think
you
I'm gonna
saying
make
that
myself
you
some
are
lasagna.
ironing his clothes so that he can go out with his mistress, that the girl came and checked you and you was the wife, that he would leave for days at a time, and you would come back and ask him what he wanted to eat. Like, babe, listen, I love the Lord.
W wife. W wife. Besides the girl checking, the mistress checking the wife. The husband should be asking, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? This is my wife. Won't you check my girl? You stay in your fucking place. You know what? You ain't getting no more dick no more. You're cut off. Since you want to do shit without fucking permission. You want to be trying to fuck up my shit. My shit here is strong. Bitch, don't ever come to my house ever again like that. But W wife, iron out the clothes, starch them, no fucking wrinkles or nothing. While I go out the drip for these hoes. My food out on the table when I get home, cause you know I be fucking. I need a good, get something good to eat when I get done doing what I need to do. Hey, it's a good wife. But the husband should check the bitch. Man, I said, don't ever come to my fucking wife say that shit again, bitch. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Or two. But no.
I'm used to 125 too.
Yeah.
She 5'6", 175, and she was the wrong color.
So what made you keep coming back to her? She's not your preference.
She lived down the street.
So you saying convenience?
Very much.
I would always feed you.
She would feed me.
I said, women, you gotta feed them.
And she would give me money.
This is why I warn women to never give a man a chance when he acts as if you're not his preference. When he goes out of his way to say, I don't usually like dark-skinned women. I don't usually like women with tattoos. I don't usually like plus-size women. I don't usually like women who have children. When he goes out of his way to make you feel like you're not his usual type, most of the time he'll never let you forget it. They will always use...
Ain't that the same thing that bitches be doing? You bitches be doing the same exact thing. For example, Travis Hunter and his girlfriend. I don't usually go for him, but I decided to give him a chance. You bitches be doing that all the time, bruh. I don't usually go for this type, but I decided to go ahead and I married him because he surprised me. You bitches be doing that too. You females be doing that too. You women be doing that too. Whores, they don't be doing that. They just be wanting to fuck.
Use that to humiliate and to embarrass you. But this is the literal representation of what it looks like when a woman plays her own game of survivor. Outplay, outlast, outwit. Now you telling me you even outspent? You was giving the man money? This man is happier than a pig in slop, talking about all the hoops he made her jump through to show herself to be worthy. And truthfully, he probably still doesn't think she is. A man can smell desperation in a woman from a mile away. He doesn't keep coming back because he loves you and he misses you. He keeps coming back because you're the only one that would let him. You have successfully beat out the competition. But what did you really win? Because he's no prize. That man isn't testifying, he's bragging. And they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you and to your face. That man wouldn't put up with a tenth of what he put you through because he knows his worth.
I'm always going to preach for you guys to really know yourself. Go after your goals. I'm not saying to not be interested in dating, all of that, but just remember what your goals are. When you get a man, remember what your goals are. I must say that I'm a person that wasn't raised with the rhetoric of like, oh, you know, you.
Man, it's okay to go for your. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. There's nothing wrong with it, and she's right. There's nothing wrong with knowing yourself and knowing your self-worth. But don't conflate your self-worth. You females love to conflate your self-worth, and that usually is the issue. That's why you look for the most perfect man, and he's never gonna be like. That's why it seems like no man can ever satisfy you. He may be good in bed, but he ain't got enough money. Or he got enough money, and he's a gentleman, and he does this, but he ain't that good in bed. Or he don't really dress that good. He kind of smells. But Don't conflate your self-worth just because you're a female. Because yeah, like she said, y'all can get a man, but can y'all keep a man? That's just gonna be, he's literally just gonna be dick to you. That's it. Like, how y'all gonna build emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically together to where y'all can grow that relationship and that bond if you just think the short term of, yeah, I can get him, rather than the long term, okay, I know I can get him, but how can I keep him? What does he like to do? What is it? How can I make his life either a little bit easier or make his life more fun, because I understand that he has to do a lot of shit. What does his family like to do? What is something that in his childhood that he really enjoyed, or something that I can do to where it kind of makes him feel like a kid again, and where he can go ahead and, you know, just make him feel more at home. Just that type shit. Because men be thinking about that when it comes to females. That's why we control the questions. Hey, what do you know? What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? What kind of flowers do you like? What kind of stuff like do you like when it comes to like candies and, you know, little trinkets and shit like that? You know, what is it? You know, we're asking all these questions to make you feel more comfortable and shit like that, to where, I mean, you know the goal. Get up in them guts. Up in them guts. Okay, I get up in them guts. We fucking. We still go on a date, so we just fucking. But guess what? The man did what he was supposed to do. He got in them pants. As soon as that man is like tired of you, it's like, bruh, this bitch is boring, or this bitch is giving me too much problems, and I don't even have to deal with it, and she adds no value to my life. She doesn't make me feel better. There's no benefit from me being with her besides just regular pussy. I can get pussy anywhere. Out. So you gotta show them that, hey, I can do better. I can, you know, whatever you need for me to do, or let me be likable and not cause you issues. Let me not be a nuisance to you and make your life better. Let me bring you peace, comfort, give you a place to just chill and just enjoy yourself and not have to feel like you gotta battle or be stressed out. Which I don't think about.
You gotta
that, which I
struggle for love. Like, you gotta get it out the trenches. Like, I wasn't raised like that. My mom, before, you know, marrying my dad, my mom and dad have been married for a minute, like over 30 years. But my mom told me her stories. She told me about the times like she left. She was just like, I told my ex, if he did this, this, and this, I'm gonna leave. And he did A, B, and C. And so I left, and he was shocked, and I never went back. Like, actually, yes, you should run a tight ship. And then, you know, we have my brothers. I remember once I was dealing with this guy, and I was telling my brother about it, and he was just like, you are way too smart to be going through this. I need you to tighten up. And I was like, you know what, you're right. Never talk to the guy ever again. And so, as someone who was raised on that, I want to pass that belief off to y'all. You can learn from other people's mistakes and say, hey, you went through that, but I don't have to. I don't have to choose that story. I saw what you did, and I'm not going to replicate that. You don't have to endure disrespect, emotional abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse to be seen as a godly woman or a Proverbs 31 woman. If someone's trying to convince you that, oh yeah, you just have to take dirt being thrown on you, like, that's manipulation. People be acting like infidelity is something light, like it don't be giving people PTSD, self-esteem issues, anxiety, depression.
It depends on if you talk to her about that. It depends on whether y'all have had the conversation or not. Now, if you're just out just lying and cheating, that's wrong. That's wrong. If y'all already have an arrangement and shit like that, and she knows how it is, then you already know what it is. But you're doing everything you're doing as a man, and you're not bringing nothing back to the crib, as in like STDs, no babies. You're not, disrespecting her and the female that you're fucking. They don't come back to the crib, or they don't try to hit your wife up, and they don't, you have them in check, come back to the crib, shit like that. Y'all got rules and standards, bruh. That's how you do it. But nobody can run our relationship. So, yeah, it's just, as long as y'all got an understanding about that, and however y'all do it y'all way to make sure it's good for you guys, I don't see an issue with it. But the lying is the bad part.
In my book, abuse. You don't have to endure that to be a godly woman. There was one part where Kelly mentioned that she would confide in the church mothers, the older women at her church, and they would just tell her to pray for him.
A friend of mine recently, and she was telling me about a situation that happened in her church, and someone had given her some advice, and she was really upset about it. And she had been sharing some concerning things about the person she was dating, and this person gave the advice that, if it did turn into an abusive marriage, then that was God's will for her. And when I tell you that I almost came unglued,
excuse me,
I am not exaggerating. This is why that documentary, Shiny Happy People, exposing the cult of Bill Gothard and IBLP is so fucking important. Those teachings have infiltrated mainstream evangelical Christianity in ways that we don't even know. Because my friend does not go to any kind of church that supports ATI, IBLP, Bill Gothard, or anything like that. And yet this advice that this person who is in leadership at the church gave my friend is directly related to Bill Gothard's teaching and the purity movement teaching. It's also an overglorification of suffering, which is another thing in Christianity that is just... And I only cuss when I feel really strongly about something. It's to express strong emotion. And I told my friend, abso-fucking-lutely not. That is a valuing of the marriage, the institution of marriage, over the individual in the marriage, which is a complete misalignment of God's values that are outlined in the Bible. Unacceptable. And as she shared more details of what was said between her and this person who was offering the advice, I also saw that they were elevating the idea and teaching of submission to a completely unhealthy level, which is so common in conservative Christian circles. Ask me how I know. That because your husband is the leader of the home, that you have to do things the way he wants them done. That is not what the Bible teaches.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. As in, like, I agree what she is saying, and I don't agree with uh, being a man of the house is doing what he says as he says it. I don't believe in that. That's tyranny. I don't. No. And as well, if you are going through abuse, any type of abuse in marriage, you should get out. You just because you did those vows doesn't mean you're entitled to stay and endure that. Fuck no. Like being sexually abused, mentally abused, physically abused. Get out. Get out. You should also heed the signs before you get married so you're not stuck with it. Because most likely it's not the first time. Like, it's like a snowball when it comes to abuse, right? You have to take heed of that one and check it right there. If you can't check it, then leave. That's how you do it. But even though yes, I am a provider, man, I'm a Sigma. I ain't gonna cap. I'm a Sigma. But my thing is, like, when it comes to me and my girl, like, when it comes to when we have a family and stuff like that, when I run my house, I want my girl to tell me if she feels I'm wrong, or I want her to come and talk to me about something that she disagrees with, and us work together to figure out figure out what's going on, or just her just give me that like emotional side. Since I'm not too emotional, I could be emotional, but her adding to my vulnerability so I can be balanced, not too logical, and not be like a robot. I want to be balanced, and that's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to help me out in my deficiencies. That's what we both do. Where she's up there in emotion and I'm down here with logic. We're supposed to meet in the middle where we balance each other out.
But that is what so many churches teach. Again, ask me how I know. The problem is that is the kind of teaching that traps women in abusive marriages. Literally what he said, traps women in abusive marriages. And after I picked my jaw up off the ground and ranted for a few minutes, my conclusion was this person, not only has he never experienced emotional, mental, psychological, spiritual abuse for years and years and years and had it break him down until he was a shell of the person that he used to be, he's also a man. And he has no idea what it's like to be a woman trapped in a marriage like that. Oh my God.
I'm a man. I have no idea how it is to be trapped in a marriage as a woman. With any type of abuse, I'd leave. It's a logical standpoint. I'd leave. I'd get out of that marriage. I wouldn't be in that marriage to begin with. That's why you gotta understand and know your partners before you get married, bro.
To hear that churches are saying no matter how abusive a spouse may be, whether to you or your children, that you cannot exit that covenant is completely false.
Yes, it is. It's false.
And I feel like I touched on this subject just for a minute last week, and again, this needs to be expanded. A lot of churches run from talking about tough situations, and I get that, because it's hard to preach. It can move in a lot of different directions, but here's the thing, guys, don't you understand that usually the right thing's the hard thing? I need everybody in this room to understand.
I ain't gonna lie, this is the most
church will not run from the.
This is the most church I've ever had for a fat minute, because I have not been to church in, I want to say, 8 years. I want to say the last time I went to church was in basic training. So yeah, 8 years, because it's 2025.
Tough topic.
Crazy.
You are not to associate with somebody that abuses. This consists of physical, emotional, verbal, and mental abuse. No one should ever have to stay in a marriage when they are being constantly abused.
Think about the crap.
If you're being abused over and over again, get out. There's a problem.
Yeah,
get
out.
Help first.
Yes, get help
first.
Yes.
We're fixing to get to that.
Yes.
Come to the church and get help.
You go to authorities.
No one should ever be abused in any way, especially in the marriage covenant of God.
I remember when I was at work one time, and you know how they have those code words on, like if there's a you know, if somebody's being domestically abused, or if somebody just spiked a drink, or if they're uncomfortable in a situation, they have these code names, like for abuse or, you know, domestic violence. They say, hey, my name is Jessica Jones, and da da da. So one of the times I was doing foot patrol, and a lady came up and she said, hey, my name is Jessica Jones, can you get the police for me? And she was deaf, and not deaf, she was mute, she couldn't talk. And here's the thing, like, I didn't know, at the time, I didn't know, like, what it was, like, but I don't know how I realized what it was. Actually, no, I do, because I remember on TikTok, there's somebody, I think it was like one of those Reddit threads where like, hey, have you ever had to, or have you ever seen somebody get kicked out or the police called at the bar because somebody tried to roofie you or some instance? And they said it was a name. I think they said it was like I don't know what name they said, but I think they used Jessica Jones or whatever. But I just knew at that moment, I was like, oh shit. I was like, Jessica Jones. Oh, bet. Okay, I got you. And I called up the airport police and everything, and they talked to her and everything. So hopefully she's doing well. I have seen her. I haven't talked to her or asked her about anything just because it's not my business, but I really hope she's doing well. Nobody deserves to be in a mental, physical, or sexually abusing relationship. Like, no, nobody deserves it. And whoever says you need to endure that is dead fucking
1,000 times. Your job is to love your wife like Christ loves the church.
Prayer is powerful. It is. I pray every day. Prayer is powerful, okay? But you can pray and be on your way. Usually to women, people like to make it seem like it's sinful or resentful for their partner to experience the consequences of their actions. I don't understand that. I don't understand that, because you can pray for that. You can pray for that person.
Okay,
you can forgive that person, but also preserve yourself, preserve your mind, your kids' minds, because they're seeing this. They see that their father is cheating on their mom. They see that their mom is going through emotional turmoil. They see the dysfunction. It's hard for me to believe that that's what God wanted for you. It just gives, oh, I went through it, so you can go through it. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Oh, and speaking of worst enemy, remember that girl that gave Kelly his number?
And the blessing is I ran into her years later, and I said, thank you for giving Kelly Conway my number.
That's right.
And I said, she's Kelly Steele now.
Yeah.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was happy for us.
I bet she was. Her plan worked out better than she ever thought it could. Whenever I hear about stories like this, I automatically think of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 28. Husbands should love their wives as they love their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. If marriage is what you want, please marry somebody who wants to be a husband and not just wants a wife. Please marry someone who wants to be your husband and doesn't just want to own you. I don't want to leave this video off on a negative note, and so here are
since we're speaking of both, well, I'm speaking in a minute. Make sure you, when you're going for marriage, ensure that you're going for a female that wants you for you, not just because of what you provide, not just because of whatever. Make sure that individual wants to be a wife as well. I mean, you could say for both genders, which you should. Which you should. And one of the things that kind of got in which one of my kind of like, I don't want to say beefs or one of my problems with, these female channels was, I mean, they're made for females, but when I react to them, they only say the stuff that help benefit the females, but also, I mean, it's their channel, they can do what they want, but you don't see a lot of male channels saying the same thing. Well, alright, this is my thing. When you get the male channels, they do the same thing. Do stuff to benefit the males. In which, if I really want relationships, y'all gotta realize that you can't be selfish in a relationship because with two. You gotta get all that self-centeredness and that selfishness out when it comes to a relationship with the opposite sex. So you can't just say, hey, make sure that, if you're a female talking, make sure that in a relationship that the man protects you, he provides for you, and da 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 da, without saying, hey, but while he's doing that, make sure you're also doing these things to make him want to show that you're grateful for what he's doing. Vice versa, for the man. Make sure your female is cooking for you, cleaning for you, providing this, da 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 da. But not saying, but as the man, you should be protecting her, ensuring that no one disrespects her. Provide for her in any way you can. Educate her. Da 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 da. Add benefit in her life. Y'all need to be adding benefit in both y'all lives, each other's lives, to where y'all are each other's weaknesses is gonna be your strength. Whatever my weakness is, her strength is there. Whatever her weakness is, my strength is there. And that's how we go ahead and get through the suck and we get into our relationship. We build our relationship and strengthen it. But these type of platforms, they don't do that. In which I'm like, cool. That just gives me more content to react to, because I will go ahead and give that other perspective of the male, to where it's like I'm not just thinking with my dick, I'm thinking with my fucking head, and I'm not just thinking about anecdotal experience. I think about the experience that I provide to the females that I be dating, but also I think about who I want to marry and how I'm going to treat that female, but also how I want to be treated as well. I think about a whole lot of different sides. I don't think about just the emotional shit. I think about it logically and everything.
A couple more videos that just put a little smile on my face. Girl, hold my hand. Sisters, I want healthy love for you guys. It's out here. It's alive and well. And it's really easy to see when you don't have people yapping in your ear about how you need to settle and this is why you single. Okay?
Wouldn't you kind of be one of those people who are yapping in their ear about having healthy love? Because if we being honest, there's no real true definition of healthy love. Because a lot of people's definition of healthy love is different. Because what's not healthy love for you could be healthy love for somebody else. Their relationship could be healthy for them. That's why you really shouldn't be in nobody else's relationship. Now, when it comes to, like I said, mental, physical, emotional abuse, then that's where it gets unhealthy. But if it's just minuscule shit that you just don't like, you don't like how he coughs, you don't like how he is dirty, or what, you don't like how she drives, or just stuff that just like is just bullshit and retarded. If you count that as unhealthy, then you're the problem, honestly. And in reality, nobody's truly healthy. So, as in like spiritually and mentally. So before you even think about getting in a relationship, you got to fix yourself. Be okay with being on your own, being by yourself, and then go into being in a relationship. Take a couple years to yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, y'all ever just experienced the love so healthy, y'all? Like, just look at this. Like, as a man, like, just think about you being able to just come home and, like, literally, you can just be yourself with somebody. You can just be, like, literally, like, so in love, vulnerable. You ain't got to worry about nobody judging you. Your girl is like your safe space. You still have your own life. You still got your own hobbies. You can go work out. You can go to work. You can go make money. You can hang with your guys. But guess what? Ain't nothing like coming home to your girl and she just love you and admire you so much. Ma, trust me, she got this heart forever. Forever.
Until you do some bullshit that she's gonna be bringing up what the fuck you did and what the fuck you told her in privacy. And I'm not saying that that's gonna happen, but be wary of saying that shit because women are finicky. I'm not saying your female is, but say y'all getting a big ass fight, or say y'all break up the fucking next couple months, y'all shit's going bad. See, bruh, don't listen to these motherfuckers who are on TikTok because you don't know about the relationships behind the scenes, bruh. That's why when I get a girl, man, I may talk to y'all about her and shit like that, but y'all will not know who she is, and I will not post her on Instagram or anything because it's none of y'all business. And also, I'm not going to be portraying my relationship as good or whatever. I'm not trying to portray it as anything. I don't need to go ahead and show TikTok or show Instagram or Snapchat how beautiful my relationship is. Oh my God, look at my girl. She's beautiful. Da, da, da. I know how beautiful my bitch is. She know how beautiful her man is. I don't need to do that. I understand possibly it's an educational thing, but it's like, it's going to be one of those things where, like, you know, the caption, this age like milk, if they end up breaking up, making a divorce. Because there's been a lot of examples of a lot of people who are preaching this healthy relationships and shit like that, and then, maybe a year later that somebody got caught cheating or somebody ended up being abusive or whatever. Don't follow this relationship shit online, bro. Just build your shit how you want to build it. And if you really got an issue, really look within. If you got an issue, if you got to find a common denominator. Always the common denominator is going to be with you, good brother, good sister. So you look at all the common things that you've had with these individuals and why it hasn't worked out. What you put out in this world, you're going to get back. So, take that.
Through any weather, through any storm, she got me. It's my twin, yo.
In which there are women who are like that.
Jonathan and I are making 1 year of marriage. And here's some things that we learned.
I learned the importance of patience. The patience that I want, I need to be able to give. And the patience that I don't have, I need to pray for. Having the same patience that God has for me and he took with me, and applying that to my wife. So always leading and having patience. And even when the days that aren't as so fast paced and a bunch of things are getting done, also having patience and remembering that she's a person.
One thing I learned in our first year of marriage is that—
And also, don't get me wrong, man. I love seeing beautiful black relationships, stuff like that, like on my TikToks and shit like that. I love seeing black families flourish because that's what I want. And I love that. And I appreciate it. And I love it. But always take it with a grain of salt. Always take it with a fucking grain of salt. That's what I'm saying. Don't take everything that they say as truth. Take it with a grain of salt.
Jonathan is not only here just to give me a good time and to make me happy, but he's here to sanctify me. He is the closest human being to me. He sees me every single day. So that means he sees all the good things about me, but he also sees the bad. And God uses him to grow me as a person and to look more like Christ.
I also learned the power of forgiveness and having active communication go hand in hand. So a lot of times the conversations and arguments that we can get into, there can be a lot of hidden resentment that I've had from past conversations that weren't even arguments, or just little things that ticked me off and rubbed me the wrong way. And it really calls for like having real honesty and uncovering all the things that I might feel a way about. The more honest I am with
this is some good
saying
content.
how I
This is some
actually
good
feel and the things that might rub me the wrong way, the better we can understand.
Honesty shit, yes.
Ooh,
always be
another
honest.
thing I learned in marriage is that there is a transition from abstinence to actively having sex. You're spending this amount of time doing everything in your power not to have sex with this person, or just not think about sex in general as a single person, and then you get married and now you're just like, yeah, go have sex now. It's like confusing, and you have to like rewire your brain. I don't know if there's a transition period for other people, but there was a transition period for us.
Obviously,
nigga, I was trying to fuck something. Nigga, I'm in. Alright. I came out the goddamn batting cage and swinging to the mud like a thing. Swinging to the bleachers. Alright. And I'm not gonna lie, cause I keep it 100 with my niggas. Since I was dating around, nigga, I've been trying to fuck, but I haven't kept that shit on my mind to where it fuck up the vibe with the females. I'm not letting them know. I'm not making it seem like I see them as sex objects. So I wasn't really too crazy. But with this one, I'm trying to control my lust and, you know, not really focus on sex as much. So yes, I'm rewiring my brain. Like usually I would have sex with the females I'm dating on the second or third date. This about to be our third date tomorrow. But I'm not really looking for that. You know, I don't really know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen naturally. But it's not really on my forefront. So yeah, I'm kind of rewiring my brain for that, which I understand that. But I'm not, and I already told old girl too, like, I'm not going to be abstinent. I'm not waiting until marriage so I can fuck. Cause I'm not going to I'm not going to be married or know that until I'm like fucking 30. 6 years, no sex? Nigga. No, I'm going to be fucking. But when it comes to being in a serious relationship, yeah, I'll wait to fuck, because you're not an individual where I'm not trying to I'm trying to get to know before we fuck. And then, I mean, you know, they say like once you fuck, that's when you really get to know the person. All right, cool, I guess, but I'm not really trying to, you know, I'm like I said, I'm trying to control my lust. This is for me and everything. So yeah, but being abstinent for a whole fucking 6 years, bruh, no thank you. Wait, no, 4 years. Sorry. 4 years. I gotta pee really bad. 4 years. No. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back, bro.
And hopefully that's obvious enough to understand.
That's good.
But unless you say it, it's not really gonna be understood.
That's good.
Because we both have expectations when we share things. You know the classic, put the food up. But what did you really mean by that? Being more thorough in communication, being more thorough in how we speak to each other, and sharing expectations. Like, what do you expect when you say that? So that there's no misunderstanding and it's completely clear. No room for error.
One thing that I learned is you and your spouse are going to be different, and it's learning how to work those differences together. For instance, Jonathan is a health fanatic, and I am a admin organization girly to the T. And there's a lot of times where it seems like me and him are just total opposites. Like, he's an extrovert, I'm an introvert. But I don't think that has to be a problem. Being an introvert, he gets me out the house. As an extrovert, I don't know. I help him with something. I help him balance him out. You know, it's balance.
And most of all, love Jesus, thy Lord and Master of your life. Give him everything. Keep him at.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
Let me give the girls some hope and tell y'all my testimony, okay?
So my boyfriend and I met when we were in college, but we got into a committed relationship after we both graduated. After he graduated, he moved to Dallas for an amazing job offer, y'all. An amazing job offer that is like his dream job. But me on the other hand, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I'm still in Virginia at this time, working job after job, changing my career about 10 different times, trying to figure out what the heck is my passion. So y'all, one day I was on the phone with him getting ready for work, but I was also just venting to him about how unhappy I was, y'all. Like I was just like, babe, I need to change the speed. I need to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. I have so much more to offer to this world than to be working at this 9 to 5. So now I'm at work doing my everyday duties, and my manager tells me to come to the back because my husband is on the phone. I'm thinking in my head, Boogie, I don't have a husband. So I go to the back to answer the phone, and it's my man. So I pick up the phone, I'm like, babe, what's wrong? Like, I'm at work. So he's just like, do you want today to be your last day at work? Child, the man didn't have to repeat himself. He didn't have to say it louder because I was already with it, okay? The answer is yes. He was like, so go ahead and clock out for me. This man got me a one-way ticket to Dallas, got movers at my daggone apartment shipping my stuff over to Dallas. Baby, the man wasn't playing. He paid the fee for me to break my lease. Like, he just had everything taken care of. I felt secure in making the move because, for one, I had a great savings account and I also have 2 degrees. So if all else fails, baby, I can do better by myself. So I'm all settled in now, and we just decided to have a sit down just to talk about our expectations of each other now that we live together. And he literally just told me, the only thing I expect from you is for you to find what your passion is in life. You don't gotta cook, you don't gotta contribute to anything financially, just figure out what you want out of life. So I told him, like, babe, I think I wanna take content creation serious. I might have told him that on a Monday, and I promise y'all that Friday I had a vlogging camera, a new phone, ring lights, vanity sets. Baby, he was not playing. And the biggest thing of all, I complained about the lighting in our old apartment because we didn't have like a lot of natural light. The man moved us into a high rise. Like, I really cannot make this up. I say all that to say, this man knew how unhappy I was, so he changed my circumstances, and he also knew my potential, so he invested into my passion.
But here's the thing, and that's good, as a man is supposed to do. He's supposed to make you feel like, hey, you can do whatever in the world, providing that shit, and kudos to that man. But what in return are you showing him that you appreciate what he's done, what he is doing? All I've heard about is what this man has done, what he's done for you, how he moved you, how you complain about the lighting, da 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 da. He said you ain't have to cook. You said all this, but what is it that you're doing to reciprocate that love, reciprocate that, I appreciate you? And it's one of the things where it's like, bruh, if you're all married, then it should be one of those, like, it's not like I scratch your back, you scratch mine, but it damn near is like that. Like, I'm doing this because I love you. Okay. How are you showing that you love him? And it's not even about the money. Like, obviously, he can take care of himself. He's taking care of you. It's more about how are you helping him, emotionally, spiritually, how you making his life easier and shit like that. And, just giving how you can give and how you can, take less stress away other than sex.
And now I get to wake up every day and talk to a phone and make money. That man wanted to alleviate all my issues so I can just focus on me and what I want out of life. And that's a beautiful black king right there. It's been 4 years now. We've gone to couples therapy. We're constantly working on the quality of our relationship, and we just are obsessed with each other.
But you still haven't said what you're doing that builds a relationship as well. It's a mutual thing. It's a mutual benefit. It's not just one.
And I just love my man. Do not lose hope, baby. Your person is out here somewhere, and he gonna come get you. He gonna come get you, Boogie.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave me a like if you liked this video, comment, I will see it, and subscribe if you like the channel, if you like the content. I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful night whenever you're watching this. Bye.
Shout out to Sonia, Danielle. That was a good video, man. I enjoyed it.